Welcome back, Gundam guys and Gundam gals. Patrick Grade here from GGInfiniteNews.com. This time bringing you a review for the High Grade 1144th Gafran from the new Gundam Age anime. The runners have been cleaned, the pieces have been smoothed, stickers have been applied, and the panels have been lined. So let's take a look at the finished product. So starting at the bottom and working our way up with the feet and legs here, we can see that the color scheme is real simple, with the majority being the gunmetal gray and a little bit of blue here at the bottom. There's also a sticker at the bottom of each foot for a thruster, which is kind of a weird place for a sticker, but oh well. The shape is very humanoid. There's not a lot of robotic action going on here, except for maybe the spikes in the knee area, but it's very humanoid in overall design. We kind of see calf muscles here in the back of the leg and all that kind of stuff. For a bend, we get a full 180 thanks to the double knee joint here. There's no rotation below the hip joint because the polycap is molded into the upper thigh here. For the ankles, we have a decent amount of forward and backward movement, as well as side-to-side rocking movement. And if we can bend the toes out here, that's part of the transformation into the flight mode. Also, we have a backwards bend in the knee, similar to what we see in the Zeta Gundam transformation. The one part of this about the leg build I don't like is that the polycap that connects the lower and upper legs together seems to be kind of loose. It's easy to pop it out with a little bit of moving around, but otherwise the build's really solid and pretty nice. The waist unit is extremely simple, the only moving parts being the hip joints here that's fully encased in the crotch unit. There's no other moving parts or too much detail at all. No side skirts or anything. That's all part of the backpack. We'll see you later. Pretty simple. Upper torso is uniquely complex for a high grade kit. There's a lot of parts that come together to make this work. The shoulders have a large amount of outward movement, and the neck and backpack assembly is all in one, so it's kind of a unique way to do this. There's a little bit of rocking movement back and forth in the backpack / neck, and there's no other real moving parts in here except for the shoulders and the backpack. We also have the clear green jewel down inside the chest unit here, if you can see that. And there's 3 polycaps here to attach the wings and the tail, as well as the shoulder polycaps, and of course the neck joint for the head. So another unique design for this kit is the head. You can see it's a very ovular design, and it reminds me a lot of the Gabera Tetra from the 0083 Stardust Memory in this form. As part of the transformation, the sides can fan out here. Looks like sort of like a bat, almost by itself. And then also, in this form, it reminds me a lot of the Evangelion with that jawline down here. And 2 other stickers are used on the jaws, and then the final sticker for the kit is used for the eye sensors. I think overall the head has a nice design, and it can become something that's iconic, a very unique head design for the bad guys of the series. So pretty cool. The arms and shoulders are a lot like the legs, a very simple design, clean humanoid shape. You can kind of see muscle, muscle detail or whatever in the the form factor here. Nothing too special going on. The shoulders themselves, the arms attached to the shoulder on a polycap. The shoulder armor itself is 3 pieces, the 2 outer shells, and then a 3rd piece that attaches on here. The hands are also somewhat unique, with the 3-finger and 2-thumb design. Also, the main weapon, or the secondary weapon for the beam rifle and the beam saber, are in the palm here, with a barrel that is on a ball joint so it can kind of move around. Even though it doesn't come with a beam saber blade, you can attach most high-grade beam sabers to it. This one comes from the GM2 kit that I recently reviewed, and it's accurate for the yellow as well, so that's kind of a handy thing to have around. No pun intended. But overall, it's a real simple design. The elbow bend is sufficient. You get a little over 90 degrees there. Rotation below the shoulder armor, and the wrists are free to move around quite a bit, as much as you want. So a unique feature of this kit are the wings and the tail. And here's a look at the wings. Very simple, just several large pieces of plastic and a couple polycaps here and there. Not a lot of detail, not much panel lining or anything going on. But for a simple, $13 high-grade kit, it's not too bad. The big wing here is attached by a polycap that can be somewhat easy to pop off when you're trying to pose it. There's a polycap inside here that allows for some stiff rotation, and that's pretty much it as far as movement goes. The last piece of the puzzle here is the tail. It's like a large beam rifle, almost like a railgun attached to his back, that has several points of articulation. Down here at the attachment point for the backpack, it can move in and out quite a bit. Then up here at the midsection, has a sliding joint to lock it in place, and is able to move quite a bit to allow it to store up in a compact mode, or come over the back for a long range rifle cannon kind of deal. There's these 3 little bits on the sides here that can move around somewhat. They're just stuck in there with on a loose peg. And there's a lot of lining opportunities here in the tail to bring out some of the finer detail. So pretty nice stuff. So putting everything together is of course very simple. Just plug the legs into either side, the upper chest and the torso together, either arm, if I can find the last one, and then for the main mobile suit, finally the head. So taking a look at it without any of the wings or tail attached to it, it's a very top-heavy design so far, with the shoulders being very broad and the upper torso being very powerful looking, but the lower legs being quite slight and not much to it. Without the side skirts or wings on, the articulation for the lower legs is very good. Legs can come up very far. Almost go over his back like the cannon. With the ankles, there's not very much movement in the ankles, so you can't get a very wide pose, but it's pretty not too bad. We're not talking about 00 ankle articulation, that's for sure. The arms are free to move around, and with the extra added articulation in the shoulder, we can get way far across the chest, all the way to the other shoulder. And up about that far. Of course, standard articulation in the arm and wrists. The head is not very mobile because of the side armor on the head, but maybe if you flip it up, nope, the angle of the neck is kind of hindering the articulation there, but it's fine for side-to-side movement. And of course, looking up. The chest is very nicely detailed. It's a big selling point for this kit. A lot of good shapes and sharp lines, and 3D effects with different levels and depth of areas. So when it's time to start adding the stuff on the back, it becomes a little cumbersome to get this guy to stand up and film at the same time. So I'm going to use my trusty action base here to help me along. On the backpack you can see we have 3 polycaps, 2 for the wings and 1 for the tail. Going to attach either wing here. And then plug in the tail. Then as you can see we get a completely different looking mobile suit. Majority of the lower body is taken up by the side skirts or the wings here. We have a lot more going on behind and above the head. It's much bulkier and a lot different looking. As far as the side skirts go, I think they're too big for the mobile suit. They cover way too much of the legs, and they're really in the way as far as posing. You can see the wings just kind of fold under the arms, so that limits a lot of posing abilities there as well. It doesn't look too bad from the side. It's kind of neat looking, but if this front flap on either side wasn't so big, I think it'd be a lot better. The cannon, on the other hand, I really like. It adds a lot of unique lines to the side and the back, and you get quite a bit of mobility out of it as well. You can bring it on the side of either shoulder. You can track around to the lower sides here too, but sometimes it doesn't stay as well because of the polycap. So sometimes it'll just flop down without too much resistance from the polycap. But there's a lot of variation you can get with that. And the arms and shoulders and hands bend up enough to you get a quasi grip on the cannon, like we see in the show. So I think having a scorpion tail-like weapon coming from behind really is a unique design element to the Gafran. That's pretty cool. I just wish the front skirts or side skirts were a little bit different, a little bit less. It's too much there. So that'll wrap up the look at the mobile suit and its wings and tail. Stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to take a look at the transformation, as well as some more poses and more thoughts on the kit itself. So thanks a lot for watching, and let me know what you like or don't like about the video so far. Give me a like if you do, and subscribe if you'd like to. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.